Archangel Michael says, "Do not take tonight lightly. Your name has been spoken in secret rooms and hidden chambers where the truth was twisted beyond recognition. The weight you've been carrying without understanding why will finally be lifted, because what has been buried in silence is about to burst into the open. Someone who swore never to speak of it is now trembling, and their voice will crack before sunrise. They thought their lies would last forever. They thought if they smiled at you long enough, you'd never sense the betrayal pulsing beneath their skin, but God was listening to their silence, and heaven took notes when you cried yourself to sleep over confusion that was not yours to carry. This exposure is not ordinary, it is divine, timed perfectly to restore what was taken from you in darkness. Every effort to distract you, to turn you against yourself, is about to fail with a thunderous collapse. Your enemies have been rehearsing false versions of the past, but tonight, their scripts are burning in the fire of truth. You will not need to defend yourself. The very hands that tried to cover the truth are now stained with it. They will no longer be able to hold back what must be revealed. Type Amen to get blessing 333. There is a file, a message, a conversation, recorded or written, that has now surfaced into the hands of someone who was never supposed to see it. This person is not random, they are heaven sent to bring the exposure full circle. What they found changes everything about how people see you. Archangel Michael says, "They whispered your name with poison in their mouths, but now their lips are dry and their hearts are pounding with fear. Because tonight, the curtains fall on the show they directed behind your back. And the audience is about to learn the real story that was never supposed to be told. Your pain wasn't imaginary, the anxiety that gripped your chest in silence was a spiritual warning. Your body always knew what your mind couldn't prove, until now. A message has been drafted in someone's phone, sitting unsent, but tonight it will be sent by mistake or divine push. And when you read it, you will finally understand why certain people became distant, cold, or strangely defensive. You'll see that your instincts were never wrong, they were divine downloads disguised as emotions. Type Amen to get blessing 444. The exposure is starting from the inside out. Not by some grand declaration, but by cracks that formed in their stories, and those cracks are turning into earthquakes. Even those who once protected them are stepping back, refusing to fall with them. What they tried to erase is now louder than ever. They deleted photos, messages, voice notes, but heaven archived them. Someone close to them now has access, and the chain of exposure is activated. The clock has started ticking. A private confession is being made, not out of guilt, but out of fear of being found out by someone else. They thought they had more time, but God just cut their deadlines short. You were never the villain, you were the light they couldn't control. And so they tried to dim you with lies that are now collapsing like dry leaves in fire. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Someone is pacing right now, feeling the pressure of a truth they cannot contain anymore. The words are crawling up their throat, desperate to be spoken. They may not admit everything, but what slips out will be enough to shift the story in your favor. Prepare for messages out of nowhere. Voices you haven't heard in months will come trembling with excuses, explanations, and half-truths. But don't let their sudden urgency confuse you. It's not love, it's exposure panic. Archangel Michael says, "You are walking into a season of divine clarity where no one will be able to lie to you without choking on their own falsehoods. you will no longer question what you know. Their masks are melting, and you won't need to remove them, they're falling off on their own. Even their allies are backing away. The people they gossiped with, conspired with, are now keeping their distance. No one wants to be caught in the unraveling storm that's following them. Type Amen to get blessing 777. You may feel anxious as the truth unfolds, but don't mistake that for fear, it's your spirit bracing for freedom. This truth has been chained for years, but now the key is in motion. What you are about to witness is justice without violence, truth without apology. There are receipts, literal and spiritual, the lies they told, the resources they stole, the manipulation they disguised as care, it's all being exposed. And the people who once believed them are now questioning everything. Their strategy was to silence you by confusing you. But they never counted on the divine timing of exposure. They played chess with your life, and now the board is flipped in front of everyone, your name is being cleansed. Where there was once doubt, there will be honor. People will remember not what they said about you, but how wrong they were. Type Amen to get blessing 888. A specific woman knows the truth. She didn't say anything out of fear, but tonight she's ready to speak. She will not come directly to you, but the ripple of what she reveals will find its way. The shame they try to assign you is now returning to their own doorstep. Every manipulation they orchestrated is now unraveling from the inside. They are exposed, not by your words, but by their own. Don't interrupt the process. Let the exposure happen without interference. This is God's stage, not yours. Archangel Michael says, they laughed when you cried. And they celebrated when you fell, but heaven was watching. And heaven has now authorized the full reveal. Their joy is turning into fear, and their pride into trembles. Type Amen to get blessing 999. There is a group chat, a thread of conversations, that holds words they swore you'd never see. But someone in that group has turned, and is now on your side. Screenshots are being saved, words are being collected. Truth is gathering. Expect strange energy around you tonight. It's the spirit realm aligning people, events, and conversations to bring the truth to light. You may feel heavy, but don't be alarmed, this is the wait before a breakthrough. They will try to deny it but the more they talk, the more they will trap themselves in contradictions. Their own mouth will become their greatest undoing. You've been silent long enough. Now your truth is walking in rooms you've never entered. It is speaking in your absence and winning battles without your presence. Type Amen to get blessing 000. You were not paranoid. The tension was not in your head. Your soul was picking up what their words were trying to hide. They are now afraid of being seen, they are afraid of you knowing who they truly are. Because once the truth is out, they know you will never look at them the same again. Your name will rise above the smoke of confusion. People will apologize for doubting you. Even those who joined in the silence will feel the sting of your vindication. Archangel Michael says, stand still, this battle is not yours, it belongs to the truth. And the truth has chosen tonight to be louder than every lie. No shield can stop what heaven has approved for exposure. You are about to sleep with a clear heart. Because the storm they built is collapsing under the weight of the very truth they tried to bury, and when the sun rises, your name will shine untouched. Type Amen to get blessing 03/21. Their dreams are no longer peaceful. What they did in secret is haunting them in the night. Every lie is replaying like a broken record, and the guilt is not letting them rest. The one who tried to smear you is now surrounded by silence. People are not responding the same way. They feel the shift, they see the cracks, and they know something is wrong in the story that was told. You don't need to explain anything anymore. The truth is louder than your words could ever be. It is rewriting history and placing your name in a different light. They underestimated you because of your silence. But they forgot that silence can be sacred, especially when heaven is working. And now, what was once hidden is being shouted without your voice. Type Amen to get blessing 434. A strange encounter is coming. Someone you never expected is about to confirm something you've always suspected. They've been carrying a portion of the truth, waiting for the right moment. This person has no loyalty to your enemy anymore. They've seen enough, heard enough, and felt enough conviction, and now, they are ready to become a vessel of truth. You are not being exposed, they are. Your integrity will stand in the face of their crumbling mask. You are being vindicated not just in private, but publicly. They laughed when you walked away, but what's haunting them now is your silence. Because in that silence, heaven was preparing something they couldn't stop. Type Amen to get blessing 525. Every lie planted against you is rotting. No matter how many people believed it before. They are now walking away confused and convicted. Something doesn't add up in their minds anymore, and they're starting to realize, you were the one telling the truth. There's a name that will be mentioned soon in connection with what happened. That name will unlock a new piece of the puzzle and connect the missing dots. And when it does, people will be forced to take sides. You will feel peace rising in you as the truth surfaces. It may come slowly, but every detail will feel like a balm on old wounds. Healing is now activated because confusion is clearing. Archangel Michael says, this is not revenge, it's divine reversal. What was turned against you is turning around. What was meant to block you is now clearing your path. Type Amen to get blessing 606. Some people will pretend they never believe the lies. They will act as if they were always in your corner. But your spirit will know who stood silently against you. Don't focus on them, focus on the restoration happening inside your soul. Because you are not the same person who was hurt, you are wiser, sharper, and more discerning. Someone who hurt you is preparing to send you a message. But this message is not for reconciliation, it's out of panic. They are trying to rewrite the ending before the full truth reaches everyone. Let the message come, but do not respond emotionally. Their words are not from love, but from exposure anxiety. You don't need closure from them. You're getting closure from heaven. Type Amen to get blessing 717. Tonight is the night when secrets crack open. It is not an accident that you feel unsettled, it's because your spirit senses justice moving. Something in the air is different because something in the spiritual realm has been unlocked. They will start to confess slowly, like drips from a leaky roof. They'll admit a little, hoping you'll stop asking questions. But the more they reveal, the more they will realize they can't control what comes next. What they feared most is happening. They are being seen for who they are. And the world is beginning to notice the contrast between their image and their true nature. You never had to lie to protect yourself. Your honesty has always been your sword, and now, it is cutting through every layer of deception they built. Type Amen to get blessing 828. There is a shift in energy even they cannot explain. Their plans are falling apart. People are walking away from them, not trusting their words anymore. You will hear something soon that will leave you speechless. Not because you didn't suspect it, but because someone finally confirmed it without knowing you already knew. That confirmation will be your final closure. A spiritual door is opening tonight. This door will not bring pain, it will bring restoration, healing, and clarity. You've waited a long time for this moment. And now it's here. Archangel Michael says, you are not who they said you were. You are who God says you are. And heaven is now backing your truth with power and exposure. Type Amen to get blessing 939. A voice from the past is whispering into your present. It carries the truth that was denied and hidden for so long. And soon, it will be loud enough for others to hear it too. You may be tempted to say, I told you so, but you won't have to. Their regret will speak for itself. The apology may come silently through their actions rather than words. Let them watch you rise. Let them feel the weight of the lies they told. Because your glow is now uncontrollable, it is powered by heaven. The chains they use to keep you small are broken. You are stepping into freedom so radiant that even your past cannot follow. Every hidden plot has been exposed, and the night is giving birth to truth. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. Their world is collapsing quietly, one truth at a time. You don't have to lift a finger, every seed of deception they planted is sprouting into visible shame. Those who watched in silence are now stepping forward, not because they suddenly care, but because they fear being exposed too. They realize the light is spreading, and there is nowhere left to hide. Their alliance is shattering because the truth has disrupted their unity. You are being elevated. Not just in peace, but in presence. People who once avoided your name will now mention it with reverence and remorse. Your reputation is being restored by forces beyond your control. You are not just being defended, you are being honored. And those who once turned away are now watching in awe as your truth shines brighter than ever. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. There is power in divine exposure. It doesn't need a stage, a crowd, or even a microphone. It simply flows, unstoppable, undeniable, and unforgettable. Someone who doubted you deeply is now beginning to question themselves. They see your strength, your silence, your dignity, and it's haunting their past actions. They wish they had believed you then, but now they're left with regret. Do not be surprised if someone reaches out not to apologize, but to explain. They are trying to soften the blow before the full truth catches up to them. But you owe them nothing. Your peace is not for negotiation. Archangel Michael says, the winds are changing in your favor. They thought you were buried, but you were only planted. And now, you are blooming in the full truth of divine protection. Type Amen to get blessing 1414. Let your heart be still tonight. This is not chaos, it's divine rearrangement. The pieces are falling where they were always meant to go. Everything hidden is being revealed. Not through rage or vengeance, but through alignment, synchronicity, and timing. What once made you weep will now make you wiser. Watch for the signs. You'll overhear your name in conversations you weren't meant to hear. People are beginning to admit the truth, even if only in fragments. You are not alone in this. Angels are guiding the exposure, step by step. There is a divine order in how this unfolds, nothing is random. Type Amen to get blessing 1515. You will sleep deeper after this. Because the heaviness that sat on your chest will dissolve with every truth revealed. You'll feel lighter, not because they're sorry, but because heaven is just. Your enemies never had the final say. They spoke loudly, but their voices are fading. The truth echoes longer than any rumor. This is the beginning of your restoration. Tonight marks the turning point you've prayed for, cried for, waited for, and now, heaven has moved. Archangel Michael says, you will not be mocked again. Your dignity is returning stronger than ever. And the circle of lies has been broken completely. Type Amen to get blessing 1616. What they said about you behind closed doors is now being replayed in front of unexpected witnesses. The very ones they tried to deceive are now the ones bringing truth to light. They lost control of the story, and now it belongs to justice. You have no need to retaliate. God has already handled it. What you will gain from this is far greater than what you lost. This exposure is more than a moment, it is a divine transition. It is the lifting of veils, the breaking of false alliances, the resurrection of your truth. You are rising, and no one can stop what heaven has ordained. The people who once questioned your silence will now admire your strength. They will wonder how you endured. And your story will carry power beyond your imagination. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. This night will be remembered. Not because of the pain, but because of the release. Because you didn't break, you were broken open, and from that place came truth. Let your spirit exhale. Let the healing rush in like a wave of peace. This is the aftermath of battle, the calm after the final strike of heaven's sword. They will now fear your peace more than they ever feared your anger, because peace means you are aligned with a force they cannot control. And that alignment has now exposed every plot they designed. Tonight, you're not just being restored. You are being reborn. And nothing they do from here can stop what heaven has declared over you. Type Amen to get blessing 1818.